You know, I usually stay out of these conversations, but when it comes to Caitlin Clark, I can't stay silent anymore. Michael Jordan didn't just walk up to the mic, he owned the moment. What began as a simple tribute quickly turned into one of the unforgettable speeches in recent basketball memory, not because of what was expected, but because of what wasn't. Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham weren't just honored that day. They were stunned because Jordan, one of the most respected voices in all of basketball, spoke about them. With the voice steady and sharp, he painted a picture of their impact that no one, absolutely no one, saw coming. And make no mistake, this wasn't about past glory. It was about the future of the game and who's carrying it now. So what exactly did he say? Buckle up, because this moment speaks louder than applause, and when Michael Jordan speaks, the world listens. Jordan rarely makes public comments about women's basketball. His words are usually measured, reserved, and saved for the moments he deems truly meaningful. So when he recently made an unscripted, candid remark about Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham, people paid attention. There was no press release, no stage, just quiet authority, recognizing two women who are completely redefining what greatness looks like in today's game. But what stood out wasn't just that he spoke, it was what he chose to say. Now, let's start with Caitlin Clark. Her name is already everywhere. Her rookie season, record-breaking. She's shattered long-standing WNBA records. Attendance is up, TV ratings are booming. But Jordan didn't focus on any of that. He looked deeper. He said, her style, you don't coach that. You just watch. It wasn't her shot selection, not her stat lines. It was her presence. He said she owns the moment. Some players need time to warm up to the spotlight. She walked in already on fire. Clark's game has long been compared to legends, men and women alike. But Jordan's words, they weren't a comparison. They were a recognition. He didn't see Caitlin Clark as the future of women's basketball. He saw her as the present of basketball. Period. And then he surprised everyone. He shifted the spotlight to Sophie Cunningham. Now, Sophie may not get the same media flood. She's not the viral clip queen. But Jordan, he was clear. Her impact is just as important. He called her a storm in sneakers, the kind of player who doesn't chase the spotlight, but changes the game every time she touches the floor. He admired her grit, her toughness, and her ability to throw herself into plays most people avoid. He said, she plays like it's personal. And that separates the players from the competitors. From a man who built his legacy on turning competition into obsession, that meant something deeper. Sophie wasn't being praised for popularity. She was being recognized for her fire, for the stuff that doesn't show up on stat sheets, but wins games. This wasn't a PR stunt. No brand launch, no campaign, just a basketball legend seeing something real. A signal to the league, the future of basketball isn't coming. It's already here. And Michael Jordan wasn't the only legend to take notice. What came next? No one expected. Larry Bird stepped in. Bird's known for his silence, for saying nothing unless it matters. But even he couldn't stay quiet about Clark. He admitted, almost casually, that he'd watched more Iowa Hawkeyes games in 2023 and 2024 than he'd planned. Why? Because Clark reminded him of himself. That's not just nostalgia. That's respect. Coming from a man who built his legacy on precision, grit, and basketball IQ, it meant the world. But wait, there's more. Enter Shaq. Yes, Shaq. He's long been loyal to LSU and Angel Reese. But during a broadcast, he surprised everyone. He said, I'm not Shaq right now. I'm a fan. He admitted he doubted Clark at first, wondered if her TV fame would match her court performance. But now, he's all in. He said, she's not just putting up numbers, she's making the right play. Every time. from one of the most dominant centers in the NBA history, that's not validation. That's a revelation. But this isn't just about Caitlin. Let's not forget Sophie Cunningham. While Clark dazzles with her range, Sophie grinds in the trenches, diving for loose balls, fighting for rebounds, shouting out defensive switches. And when Clark took a hard foul in a tense June matchup, Sophie was there, storming across the court, not just protecting her teammate, but protecting a culture, an identity, a new standard in Indiana, a franchise once rebuilding, now buzzing. And it's not just fans who notice. Tyrese Halliburton, Pacers star, said it best. Just two point guards trying to lead. That's not a soundbite. That's a connection. And commentator Jason Whitlock, he summed it up in one line. People want to play with Caitlin Clark. That means everything. In a league where chemistry is gold and rosters shift like sand, Clark has become the magnet. Not because of fame, but because of culture. And Cunningham? She didn't come to Indiana to blend in. She came to change it. If Clark is the face of the future, Cunningham is its steel. Tough, grounded, relentless. She doesn't need the spotlight. She is the spark. And when Caitlin was left off the 2024 Olympic roster, the silence was deafening. This was a player who had drawn millions of eyes to the sport and was passed over. Class didn't complain. She didn't tweet. She worked. In the gym, on film, grinding. Former NBA star Jeff Teague said it straight. The WNBA missed a massive opportunity. And Hall of Famer Rick Barry, he called out the targeting of Clark by defenders, said it was personal. From a legend who thrived in basketball's toughest era, those words carried weight. Still, Clark said nothing. She let her game talk. But when things got loud, Sophie got louder. She called out inconsistency, challenged her teammates, delivered clutch moments when it mattered most. And when she dropped her first double-double of the season, her grin said it all. It's about dang time. She wasn't playing for applause. She was playing for accountability. She was building culture, and that's what legends are drawn to. Not hype, not headlines, substance. And let's talk about impact. Caitlin Clark didn't just break records. She rewrote the business of women's basketball. Her games sell out. Her merch sells out. Her highlights top YouTube. Her presence, it's pulled the WNBA into mainstream conversation. But next to her is Sophie, a seasoned veteran who's lived through lean years, small paychecks, and off-season jobs overseas just to stay afloat. Now, though, together, they're shifting the power structure of women's basketball. It's not just about playing anymore. It's about leading, about negotiating, about demanding more. Clark brings the audience. Cunningham brings the strategy. Together, they're a movement. And people are watching. From Magic Johnson comparing Clark's rise to his own debut, to Steph Curry praising her floor command, not just her range, the message is clear. The game is changing. And inside the league, tensions are rising. Some say jealousy, some say fear, but legends, they're siding with Clark and Cunningham because they see authentic leadership, not always loud, but undeniable. And while Caitlin Clark becomes the face, Sophie Cunningham becomes the bridge. One ignites, one steadies. Together, they're shifting the very axis of the sport. This isn't just about the WNBA. This is about the future of basketball. And it's being written by two women who refuse to fold under pressure. So, are Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham pushing the league forward? Or are their bold moves creating deeper divides? One thing's for sure. The game will never be the same. Let us know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like if you felt the shift. Subscribe if you believe the future is female and already here. Because what's coming next might just change everything.